Hi, everyone, and thanks for having me on this very important webinar today where the Labor Rights Index 2022 will be released. It's an honor to open this with my keynote. However, I'm sorry that I have to do this with a recording, so I can't answer any questions and I can't be with you in the rest of the session. I unfortunately have to attend a funeral today, so that's why I can only do this via recording way. So double virtual, if you will, virtually there, but also virtually because I record this at another moment. Today, I want to take you through a bit of purpose behind work, purpose behind everyone's choices in life. And that power of purpose is enormous. Uh, that is something I witnessed in the Wage Indicator Foundation, in which I've been involved on the sidelines for a bit longer, but now more intensively over the past few months. And I'm really enjoying seeing that come to life and seeing that strong sense of purpose throughout the organization. Now, how does that come to life for many people? Many of us have heard of Simon Sinek, who famously coined the find your why. What is it that drives you in life? What is it that drives you in work? What is it that is your beacon, your anchor, and the thing that is your foundation? Now, Simon Sinek is very famous for this, but there's also more research into this. And one of the companies that did some more research into this was McKinsey. And McKinsey did a survey recently in which they saw that two-thirds of employees, these were mostly US based, so that pertains to that market mostly in this case, but that's also applicable on a global scale. But nearly two-thirds of these employees said that COVID-19 has caused them to reflect on their purpose in life and their purpose in work. Nearly half of them said they're reconsidering the kind of work that they actually do because of the pandemic. And millennials were 3 times more likely to ask these questions and reconsider what they're actually doing in life. Now, what we also see, and that's very interesting, is that people who live their purpose at work are far more productive than people who don't. People who live their purpose at work are healthier, they're more resilient, and they're more likely to stay with the company. And when employees feel their purpose, their personal purpose is aligned with their purpose in life and their purpose at work. That's a combination. There's many more benefits. You see stronger employee engagement. You see an increased loyalty and a bigger willingness to recommend their employer to other people. Furthermore, and finally, that research showed that 70% of employees said their sense of purpose is defined by their work. So work is truly important, even though many people have their beacon in life self-defined, still it's for 70% defined by their work. So how that translates for me is that as a leader in these companies, as a leader, whether you're active in HR, whether you're active in payroll, whether you're active in whatever domain within a company, if you lead a company, you play a very important part in finding the purpose for your employees and connecting to it and making it overlap. But that's not easy today. This is a bit of an overview, and there are obviously things still missing. But this is a bit of an overview of the things that are taking place here and now in the world of work. And some of these are addressed very adequately by the Wage Indicator Foundation, like gender pay gap and equal opportunities and all kinds of things that relate to the legal side of things. But there's more going on, and particularly related to finding your purpose. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging is very much connected to people's purpose. Doing something meaningful for the climate, making sure that there are changes that are being implemented to ensure that our kids and grandkids will have a life as well on this planet. Political instability. People are wondering what is the unrest in the world and how is that impacting my life and my work. So there's many elements that are impacted by the way the world is evolving these days. And particularly that has an impact on younger generations. So Generation Z entering the workforce now, but also Generation Alpha, born after 2010, they're the ones that are often impacted the most. They're the most uncertain in really finding their way in life and finding their purpose. So here, as leaders, we have a huge task to help them define that. And now, how that translates for me personally, I always like to go back to Maslow's pyramid of the hierarchy of needs. It's it's that simple, but it's so valuable. And we'll forget the bottom layer that is often jokingly added with the need for Wi-Fi going before the need for water and shelter. But here, this is how I find my purpose in life, and I've defined that over the past, say, 25 years in my working life, and I discovered it quite early. I started working at an employer branding agency. And in that agency, I figured out really quickly that what I like is actually helping companies make informed career choices, having the information at hand that helps them to say, hey, I'm interested in this domain and this is the reason. Now, that's something that I was able to do in that employer branding agency. I was able to craft communication together with a wider team that helped people make informed career choices. So for me, if you look at the purpose that I've defined, it's really around contributing to well-being of people and to their general development. And as said, I started that early on in my career, but I'm lucky enough to be able to contribute to that on a daily basis today as well. So first of all, through my work at the Top Employers Institute. The Top Employers Institute is a global organization that certifies employers based on the conditions they create for their people to develop. So that's a mouthful. But what it means in essence is that we audit and assess companies based on their policies. What do they have in place to help people develop, to help people find their path in the company through performance management, leadership development, learning and development, comp and ben, all elements that come together for these people. Well, that has a direct impact on many elements within the Maslow pyramid. So it starts with belonging. What kind of culture is created by companies? How do they actually reach out to people to make sure they belong? What is their diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging policy? But it also impacts their esteem. Recognition is a huge part of what we do as employers, a huge part of how we, in fact, daily recognize the work of people, their contributions. That helps people to build up self esteem. And finally, self actualization. Development is a crucial part in making your whole life, making your whole self come to life. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of that is also based on that purpose. But if you work at a company where you are developing, where you can play a role that is meaningful, that is connected to your purpose, that's when things start to gel and when people's well-being and development are brought to a higher level. So that's what I do on a daily basis. But also through the involvement in the Wage Indicator Foundation, I feel that I can have an impact there. First of all, through the main work that is being done on living and minimum wages. This is something that guarantees people a shelter, safety in their lives. And that's something that is truly important for so many people. Also, through the labor information, what we're celebrating today is the launch of the Labor Right Index 2022. And there also you see that important work coming to life and helping people be treated fairly, to know what they can depend on, to see what kind of collective labor agreements are in place and whether they pertain to them. So you see, in many ways, the Wage Indicator Foundation provides a safe basis for people to, in fact, thrive in life and grow through their careers. This is something that I dedicated my work to, and I really am proud that I today are able to show that in a short way to you. As said, double virtual, so not necessarily the way I truly want to do this normally, but I'm hoping to be there any next occasion so we can have more of a conversation on this as well. But for now, I want to thank the team that worked on the crafting of the Labor Rights Index for this year under very difficult circumstances. That's commendable because life goes on, and life's definitely not an easy path we're on. So I'm very proud of the organization behind this. I'm very proud of the whole team at the Wage Indicator Foundation to get to this point, and I'm very happy to be involved in that. I wish you a very good session, and I hope to see you in the next occasion in real life. Thank you.